Alrighty guys, it is Qaaman here today, and I'm just making this quick message to tell you that my copyright war is over and I can now put back some of the videos that originally were supposed to belong on my channel back on here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this throwback video.
Alrighty guys, it is Qaaman here today, and I am doing another Dragon Ball Z segment analyzing one of the biggest elements of Dragon Ball Z, which asks the question of why is Goku stronger than Vegeta. And this is a video topic that I have gotten many times from several subscribers dating back to the beginning of my Dragon Ball Z segments. So, in today's video, I will analyze key factors that attributed to Goku being stronger than Vegeta, which include analyzing natural strength, the motivation behind both Saiyans, and the plot scenarios that attributed to different types of training for both Saiyans, and eventually Goku being stronger than Vegeta. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into this video. Let me quickly mention, however, that those of you who saw my birthday special last week saw this coming. So let's get started. Let's first begin by talking about natural strength. Now, let me start off by saying we all know that naturally, Vegeta is actually stronger than Goku. Now, some of you may find this shocking, but looking at both the anime and the manga, this is proven. The first part of Dragon Ball Z that proves this is the fact that Goku is considered a low-class Saiyan warrior for a reason. This is based on the fact that at birth, Goku had a very low power level, with some sources labeling it as a power level of a 2. That, coupled with the fact that Vegeta is 5 years older than Goku, as shown in the Bardock special and through other sources, ultimately proves that naturally, Vegeta is stronger than Goku. But what really made the catch? Well, when we originally see their fight on Earth, it was clear that if it was not for Goku's Kaioken that essentially multiplied his power exponentially for a short period of time, Vegeta would have definitely have defeated Goku without the use of transforming into Ozaru, the Great Saiyan Ape. Now, I will say that Vegeta has contradicted himself throughout the series, as shown in the Buu arc, where he states this.
I'm amazed, Vegeta. These last 7 years in Otherworld, I've been through the most intense training sessions, but we're still completely even. I guess this whole time you've been pushing yourself even harder than I have.
That may be true. I pushed myself to the edge of my limits and beyond, but you've been born with a natural talent far beyond my own. No amount of training could have closed the gap between us.
So as you can see from listening from that clip, Vegeta openly stated that Goku had more natural talent than Vegeta, but when I really think about it and when I really analyze the series, I think Vegeta was actually wrong. Now, Goku did definitely catch up to Vegeta's power level, as some sources have Vegeta's power level of an 18,000 in the Saiyan arc, and it's clear that Vegeta was naturally stronger than Goku without the use of Kaioken. But how did Goku, after being killed off early in Dragon Ball Z by Piccolo's special beam cannon, catch up to Vegeta, who was light years stronger than him at that point in the series? Well, in order for us to do that, we have to look at other factors that give Goku the edge over Vegeta. But as far as natural talent goes, we can all say that Vegeta is definitely stronger than Goku, dating back to their first encounter in terms of his natural power without the use of Kaioken. Now, in order to further analyze and decipher why Vegeta was indeed weaker than Goku, we have to look at other factors, and one thing that I have to point out is motivation. Vegeta fights to be the very best that he can be, I'm sure we can all agree. After meeting Goku and being defeated by him and the other Z fighters on Earth, we can all agree that Vegeta sort of changed his motivation. He always wanted to be the strongest fighter in the universe, especially the strongest Saiyan, and because of it, he trained to defeat Goku. Every other villain they faced was just another obstacle for Vegeta for his ultimate prize to defeat Goku. Early in Dragon Ball Z, I can also say that Vegeta didn't care much for anyone else besides himself until the arrival of Future Trunks. but that definitely played a key factor in Goku being stronger. And one point of evidence to prove that Vegeta definitely did not care much for others until his heart was more opened up is the fact that he allowed himself to be possessed by Babidi during the Buu Saga, which truly showed his true desires to defeat Goku and the extent that he would go to defeating Goku. Now, in a somewhat similar fashion to Vegeta, Goku's motivation internally was to be the very best as well. But Goku kind of had a different mindset. While both Goku and Vegeta fight for the thrill and the desire of a good fight, Goku fights to protect his loved ones, and he also fights to challenge himself. Now, after hearing this, you're probably thinking, well, how does motivation translate to Goku being stronger than Vegeta? Well, based on mindsets, I can conclude that Goku fought with what you would call a free mindset, whereas Vegeta fought with a closed mindset. Goku always wants to learn in the best way possible, which leads him to learning from King Kai and others in the other world. Another example, even though it was never shown yet, is the pending lesson that Goku is to have with Grand Kai. Even if Goku is stronger than his opponent, his desire to take and learn something from them gives him a huge edge over Vegeta. Now let's be honest. Do you honestly believe that Vegeta would allow himself to learn a new technique like the instant transmission from the Yardrats that he would consider inferior to him? I think not. Vegeta primarily only trained by himself, which limited him as a fighter as compared to Goku, which is a factor in Goku being stronger than Vegeta. His motivation to be the best allows for other sources of training, and that is major, which is ultimately a major factor in why he is stronger than the Saiyan Prince. Now that I have explained how motivation gives Goku the edge over Vegeta as it opens up his realm of training, let's now look at how key plot scenarios gave Goku an edge over Vegeta. Now, I'm not going to just simply say that Akira Toriyama wrote Goku as the stronger character in the series, although that is partially the ultimate reason. I will analyze key points of ascension to give you specific reasons why Goku was stronger than Vegeta, and to key out the ultimate reason. After the Saiyan Saga, Goku trained in the gravity chamber on his way to planet Namek, in addition to the Zenkai boost that he received after nearly dying during the Saiyan conflict. At the same time, Vegeta didn't train at all during that time, but his power increased due to several Zenkai boosts that took place. The major Zenkai boosts for Vegeta included the fight on Earth, losing to Zarbon on Namek, losing to Recoome on Namek, and the self-inflicted wound by Krillin in order to fight against Frieza. Now, although I mentioned before that Vegeta was stronger than Goku naturally, the Namek arc is where the gap truly widened between Goku and Vegeta, since Goku trained and got two key Zenkai boosts. One from the Earth fight and the other one from the Ginyu fight. Now let's just throw in a Super Saiyan transformation along with an additional Zenkai boost that would take place after the fight with Frieza. Since Goku was badly damaged after fighting Frieza, it's safe to say that with 3 Zenkai boosts and a Super Saiyan transformation, Goku was light years ahead of Vegeta after the Namek arc. Now, to everyone's surprise, Vegeta made 2 comebacks that turned the tide. After putting himself through the most stressful training you can imagine, Vegeta closed the gap between him and Goku as shown in the Android Saga, which was more exaggerated in the anime than it was in the manga, where we really didn't see the training sequences that Vegeta really went through. However, during the Android Saga, they were roughly the same strength, and my theory for the gap closing between Goku and Vegeta is because of the fact that Goku didn't really have any special form of training as shown during the 3 years gap in preparation of the androids. It's also hinted and implied that Goku held back significantly against Piccolo and Gohan as he was shown in his base form, and we all know that in order to get the most out of training, you need to push yourself to the max, which Goku did not do during the 3-year gap, as he was training with two people who was much weaker than him in Gohan and Piccolo. Theoretically, however, Piccolo hinted in the manga and in the anime that Vegeta was slightly stronger than Goku was when they fought against Dr. Gero and Android 19. But for argumentative purposes, since Goku got sick, I will list him and Vegeta as equal during the early Android saga, but regardless of the facts, Vegeta definitely closed the gap. The next and final time that Vegeta would ascend past Goku would take place during the Semi-Perfect Cell arc, in which Vegeta emerged from the hyperbolic time chamber. Now, obviously Vegeta would be stronger than Goku since Goku didn't get a chance to train with Gohan, but it had to be mentioned in this video as it is important. However, this does lead me to the next point of Dragon Ball Z, and the climax of why Goku is ultimately stronger than Vegeta, and why the gap never closed from that point on in the series between both Goku and Vegeta in terms of power. While training in the hyperbolic time chamber, Goku trained with Gohan the entire time, while Vegeta refused to train with Trunks as shown in the anime. Let me quickly mention, however, that in the manga, Vegeta and Trunks just went into the hyperbolic time chamber and then came back out a day later with no story of what their training was like. However, the anime does imply that Vegeta did not train with Trunks based on his personality, so we can assume the same thing happened in the manga, although we never saw it. Besides this, however, because Goku trained with Gohan, he basically trained every day with a person who would eventually become stronger than himself at the time, and both Goku and Gohan grew at such a great rate of strength that Vegeta and Trunks' training could never catch up to Goku and Gohan's training because of the fact that they trained in isolation. To top things off, it's also implied that Goku learned the Ascended Saiyan form early in his training session, which helped him realize its limitations in terms of speed, which ultimately helped him develop a more efficient way of fighting in the full power Super Saiyan form with Gohan by increasing the stamina for a Super Saiyan. Now, although Vegeta and Trunks both went into the hyperbolic time chamber for more training as they went in an additional training session, the limitations were obvious as they trained by themselves, which proves that Goku was much more efficient in his training with Gohan, and not only did he get stronger, but Gohan did as well. So, I have a question for you, my fellow subscribers and viewers. Could you imagine if Goku went back into the hyperbolic time chamber, how strong he and Gohan would have become? Scary things would have happened to Cell following their training sessions. So, after saying all of the reasons for Goku being stronger than Vegeta, it's obvious that the plot made him stronger, as Akira Toriyama obviously had control over what happened in his own story. Despite that, analyzing the show reveals to me that it was indeed the hyperbolic time chamber training with Gohan that really gave Goku the edge over Vegeta permanently. If it were not for that training sequence, Vegeta may have never admitted to being stronger than Goku, as we see later on against Kid Buu, as that training sequence permanently made the gap too huge for Vegeta to close between him and Goku. Now, I know that some of you may believe that the fight in the Buu saga between Goku and Majin Vegeta showed that Vegeta finally closed the gap, but let's just be honest here. Goku was stronger the whole time and held back against Vegeta. He could have turned Super Saiyan 3 the whole time, which showed that the gap was never closed. Now, if you consider Dragon Ball GT a legitimate continuation of the series, you would know that Vegeta turned Super Saiyan 4 with the use of a machine, and the show is ambiguous to who is actually stronger individually as a Super Saiyan 4. When they fused, it's assumed that they were equal, but that's not to say Goku dropped his power level a bit to fuse with Vegeta. Also keep in mind that since Vegeta needed a machine to transform into a Super Saiyan 4, that simply means that Goku could blow up the machine and defeat Vegeta if he really wanted to, if it was a fight to the death. So I'm sure that we can all agree that Goku is ultimately stronger than Vegeta and GT as well, but I'm sure many of you can argue otherwise. One more point that I could say about Dragon Ball GT is the fact that, let's be honest here, whose Spirit Bomb was it that killed Omega Shenron? It was Goku's Spirit Bomb. The last time I checked, Vegeta doesn't know a Spirit Bomb, and that ultimately gives Goku an additional edge over Vegeta, since Goku knows more tactics that can help him defeat villains, in addition to another tactic such as the instant transmission. So guys, that has been my video for today. Overall, I think that Goku's motivation doesn't cloud his ego on finding new ways of being a better fighter, which contributes to him being stronger than Vegeta. Although Vegeta is naturally stronger than Goku dating back since the beginning of Dragon Ball, Goku's difference in his motivation and training along with certain circumstances gave him the ultimate edge against Vegeta. If I had to pick one major reason why Goku is stronger, it would have to be that year that he spent with Gohan in the hyperbolic time chamber, which ultimately gave him an enormous edge over Vegeta, and all of those 7 years in the other world just widened the gap even further, since Goku wasn't limited in training due to him being dead and it taking a lesser toll on his body. Apart from what I said, however, in this video today, I'd love to hear your thoughts on additional reasons for Goku being stronger. Please don't post in the comments facts such as Akira Toriyama wrote that Goku was stronger than Vegeta, as that's clearly the obvious answer, and it's not indicative of what actually happened in the series. Furthermore, please check out Blackenfist's new video on recent news that has been released from Akira Toriyama regarding the androids and Majin Buu. Remember to subscribe to his channel, as his channel is my backup channel in case I ever get taken down by YouTube. I'll post the link in the description below for you guys to check it out. But most importantly, over everything else, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys.
You're better than me, Kakarot. You are the best.